Welcome to part 3 of Alpine Lake. This is an abstract art quilt that was created using a fabric panel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I like to square up quilts, how to add seam binding, and you'll want to stay tuned to the end because I'll show you how to create a quick and easy hanging sleeve and 2 ways that you can hang your quilt. So let's get started. The first step in finishing up your art quilt will be to square up your quilt top with the batting and the backing. You'll notice that I'm using a square ruler and I have offset it so that I have 1/4 of an inch of the ruler extending past the quilt top. This is to set us up for the binding. I like to do a 1/2 inch binding, so I need that extra batting and backing for that step. You will trim your corners on all 4 corners, and then we will trim the sides. I like to double check that my quilt top is square, so I fold it in half to check to see that the corners are matching and everything is square. Now we're in the binding step. The first step is to cut strips of fabric with the fabric at 3 1/8 inch wide. The reason why is I like to do a 1/2 inch fold over binding. And so we need our strips to be 3 1/8 inch wide width of fabric. Let's sew our binding strips together. You'll notice that with this first strip that I have facing up the direction of the trees, we do want to pay attention to the direction of the print when we are attaching them end to end. I will be using a 45-degree angle, and when I place the top strip on, you'll notice that I'm using the opposite selvage edge when I place that on top. I have also extended the strips so that they are offset by about a 1/2 an inch. This will give us a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and you'll see how I have placed my ruler where the point of the strips come together at the 1/4 of an inch mark, and we will cut and pin those strips and continue until all strips are cut in the same manner. When attaching your seam binding, you want to start about 6 to 7 inches from the end of your seam binding. I'm attaching it to the back side of my quilt here. I am using a 1/2 inch seam allowance to attach the seam binding, and you'll continue to sew until you get to the edge of your quilt. You want to stop at a 1/2 an inch from the edge of your quilt top and angle off towards the edge of your quilt at a 45-degree angle. This is so that we can turn our corner. Using that angled stitch line, you want to fold your seam binding up towards your presser foot. You can see that I have shifted my quilt around so that I can start down the next side. You want to fold at the top edge of your quilt, the seam binding, and align it with the edge of the quilt top that we're going to be sewing down. Using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, you'll stitch until you get to the next corner, and you'll repeat this procedure over again. Continue around until you are about 6 inches from ending your quilt binding. We can now join our 2 ends together. I have done some research, and there is a wonderful video by American Patchwork, and it's called How to Join Binding. And I would recommend that. I will put the link in the comments below, and so that you can access that information there. And so now we have our binding all sewn down, and we will press out the seam binding and turn it to the front of the quilt. With your seam binding pressed to the front of your quilt, you could now do some decorative stitching if you chose to. I have a detailed tutorial that I'll link in the comments below for you to access, and you can see how this will level up your seam binding and create an artisan quality to your work. To create your hanging sleeve, you are going to cut a width of fabric 6 inches wide. Our art quilt measures 32 inches wide. I want my hanging sleeve to be offset on the back. So I'm going to trim my hanging sleeve strip to 30 inches. We will then do a double fold and top stitch the edges. This will give us plenty of room for the lath that we're going to be using to hang the quilt with to sit on the back of the quilt and not be visible from the front. With both of our ends of the hanging sleeve strip hemmed, we will now fold the length of the hanging sleeve with wrong sides together and sew the length using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I have pressed my seam open that we did to create our tube and also created another pressing line. This is a reference line that we'll use for hand stitching and also determine where we want the hanging sleeve to be placed on the back of our quilt top. Sleeve tube just under your seam binding using your pressed line as a guide. Holding it in place, you want to shift the tube up so that you can determine where the next pressing line needs to go. Once you've done that, pin it, press that line in place, and these will be your 2 hand stitch guides for stitching your hanging sleeve onto the back of your quilt. We do this so that we don't get bowing if you're going to use a rod or whatever type of hanging device that you're going to use for your quilt, so that it doesn't extend past the quilt at the top, and so that it doesn't bulge out if you're using a round dowel. Mark the center of your hanging sleeve tube and attach it to the center back of your quilt. You'll use the crease line as your guide and position it just below your seam binding and pin in place. On each end of your hanging sleeve, you will want to hand stitch between the 2 creased lines on the back of the tube, leaving the front of the tube open so that you can insert a rod. With your hanging sleeve pinned to the back of your quilt, you're now ready to stitch down using the crease lines that you pressed into your hanging sleeve tube. And you are ready to hang your quilt. Now it's time for us to hang our quilt using the hanging sleeve. So the things that you'll want to have are a hammer, a level, a pencil, a couple of nails, and a piece of lath. So I've pre-cut this. It will sit inside the back of the quilt, so you won't see it sticking out from the outside edge. I've drilled a couple holes and I've trimmed it to length. Don't be afraid of power tools. They're not that scary. This lath is a 1/4 of an inch thick and is easy to find at a hardware store. So let's get started. Now that we have our nails secured, we'll insert our lath into the hanging sleeve and we'll slip these holes that we have on either end of our lath over the nail. About 1 and 2. And there you have it. We have a nice flat quilt hanging level, and you can't see how it is hung. It's just floating on the wall nicely. If you haven't been following along, at the end of the video, I will link part 1 and part 2 of Alpine Lake so you can see how this quilt came together from beginning to end. Let's get started on hanging without a sleeve. To hang your art quilt without a hanging sleeve, I recommend that you use a larger level. This is the larger version of Alpine Lake. This is a 2-panel version, so I'm going to use a larger level mounting putty from Gorilla Glue. This stuff is magic. I recommend everybody have it. I'm not an affiliate of it. I just love it. And some safety pins. So let me show you how we're going to do this. So I've gone ahead and attached my safety pins, and you'll see how these are attached. I have it so that when the weight of the quilt is hanging, that the top of the safety pin does not come out over the top edge of the quilt. And we're going to be using the safety pin to embed the mounting putty in it. This mounting putty says that it will hold up to 2 pounds. This quilt does not weigh 2 pounds. So I have a safety pin in each corner at the top, and I just embed the mounting putty into the safety pin, just like that. And I have one in the center as well, so that it doesn't cause any bowing. I've also applied safety pins in the center of each outside edge. And again, you want to embed the mounting putty in the safety pin. And then I have 3 along the bottom that I've done horizontally so that they will not show when we hang the quilt. Just like this. So there's 3, 1 on each end and 1 in the center. Now that we have our mounting putty on our safety pins, we'll start at the top and we'll press it into the wall. This mounting putty will hold up to 2 pounds. And you want to firmly press it into the wall. Just like that. It's always good to use a longer level when you have a quilt that is wider, so then you know that you have it level and you're not just sitting there one day going, oh my gosh, that quilt isn't straight. And see how level we have it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Like on the first go. That was magic. And then with these ones on the side, we can secure the sides down, and you can see that the quilt looks like it's floating on the wall. This is a really great way to hang quilts if you're temporarily doing photography on them, or it's a space where you're going to be changing out your quilts from time to time. So I love this technique. It saves my wall. I photograph here a lot, so I don't want this wall to turn into Swiss cheese, and I'm sure you don't want yours either. So I hope you've enjoyed this 3rd part of Alpine Lake, and until next time, happy stitching.